Hello YouTube, it's Ryan here with Hobbies of Man once again, and today we are doing another video. Today we're doing a first impressions review on Buddha Volume 1. And I do apologize if you hear construction work in the background. I live right in front of a construction site because they're building another apartment complex right in front of me. And so sometimes I just can't avoid it. I have to record right now and they just decided to do really loud construction work just right now. So I do apologize for that, but let's get into it. This is Buddha Volume 1. This is written by Osamu Tezuka. This is kind of like one of Vertical's like Osamu Tezuka collection kind of things. It's not really like a collection per se. They don't really kind of market it that way, but it is like generally understood that if you're looking for an Osamu Tezuka work, you're probably going to get a Vertical volume, right? So there you go. The demographic here is actually seinen, which is kind of interesting and it kind of makes sense. It is kind of a bit heavier story that maybe teenagers might not be too interested in. And the genre here is historical. This is retelling the story of Buddha. I'm guessing directly from historical text or directly from like the Hindi and Buddhist, what's it called, texts that they have that kind of detail the history of their religions, but I can't remember what they're called. Vedas, I think, but I think Vedas are actually just for Hinduism, and they're kind of actually like ancient history, not relatively recent history like Buddha is. But anyway, it's a historical genre, and apparently there's a movie adaptation of this, like an animated movie, like an anime movie of this work. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know anything about it. I haven't seen it. I don't know too much. I'm assuming it's probably good because I can't see it not being good if it's an Osamu Tezuka work, and he's kind of generally understood to be very good. So yeah, the premise here is basically we follow the history of Buddha as it's been laid out, and we actually don't get around to meeting Buddha just yet. What we end up doing instead is setting up the world and setting up these kind of characters that are probably either going to be recurring or are going to be kind of exemplary of what's coming with Buddha, right? So we focus on this kid called Tata, and these other characters that are kind of in his periphery, right? And what happens is that we're slowly developing an understanding of what Buddha will be through the exploration of each of these characters. And I think it's actually really well done. I really like that. I don't necessarily know that this is the brilliance of Osamu Tezuka, or rather just him being able to adapt the source material in a way that is quite good. But generally, I thought it was really interesting, and I thought it was really kind of compelling and interesting because, I mean, I'm not a religious person. I don't really find religion to be meaningful to my life, but I am, raised Catholic, or raised in like a relatively religion conscious household. Even if no one in my immediate nuclear family is religious, the majority of my extended family members are, and so I kind of understand the general kind of broad strokes of Christianity, right? And the reality is that for some reason I found it very interesting that Buddha and Jesus are actually very similar characters. Now, or historical figures, I guess. I don't know. I don't really want to go too much into that because it might, create some sort of controversy. But I thought it was really compelling and very interesting. I thought it was really amazing and cool and just like ridiculously, coincidental that they are so similar. But I mean, of course, this is kind of a recurring theme in mythologies of all sorts. Every culture in, the world has a flood myth. Every culture in the world has a god of death. Every culture in the world has a god of the sky. This sort of stuff is kind of naturally recurring. And so it kind of, from a certain point of view, makes sense that, Jesus and Buddha would be similar if they're both supposed to be this kind of like enlightened savior figure for, specific religions. And I think it's really cool. My interest in religion is mostly academic. I think it's interesting, and I like how religion is kind of allegorical and says a lot of stuff about people, right? But I am not really the type of person to follow it. So I think it's really cool. I really liked it. I thought it was really amazing. and I keep saying that over and over, but I really don't have too much to say about it beyond that, because I don't really want to spoil anything, and I feel that if I talk about anything specific, it kind of ruins the experience a bit, so I kind of have to just keep it very broad. But generally, very cool stuff. So if you are interested in Buddha or in Osamu Tezuka, definitely check this out. And yeah, just there you go. That's all I have to say. So thank you guys very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and see you guys later.